Hello, welcome or welcome back to the YarnNYarns YouTube channel. My name is Angela and all the places you can find me should be linked in the description box below this video. Here on the channel you'll find me chatting about my adventures in knitting, spinning, crochet and weaving, all of the fibre related things. Today's video is my July making plans video. If you happen to be new to the channel, I tend to be someone who enjoys having lots of different projects on the needles, and so at the beginning of each month I try and set myself some making goals to try and focus on a few projects rather than flit through lots of different things and not really make any significant progress on any one thing. For the last little while I have been employing a little bit of a game of chance where I have a set of prompt cards, a multi-sided die, and I roll the dice several times to give myself some prompts to help me choose my projects. So that is what we will be doing today. As well as the rolling of the dice and the prompts, I also have a little bit of a community aspect to my making plans, whereby I have a lot of volunteers who have said that they would be interested in picking a project for me, and I have this randomizer on my phone and I've got everyone's name plugged in, and we will spin the wheel and choose someone to pick a project for me for the coming weeks. So I'm going to start by doing that today. We'll find out who is going to be my willing victim and I will go off and message them, and then we'll come back and do the dice rolling and the other project picking. So yeah, without further ado, let's crack on and see who my willing victim is for July. Okay, so the wheel has chosen and it is Pip who will be choosing for me today, hopefully. So I'm going to pop Pip a message and see what she would like me to work on, and then I'll come back and let you know, and we'll do the dice rolling too. Okay, so we are ready to carry on. The lovely Pip has come back to me with her project choice for the month, and it is one of the projects that I cast on for my 12 cast-ons adventures at the beginning of this year. If you're new to the channel, 12 Cast-Ons is a make-along that I host every year, and if you'd like to find out more about that make-along, there are some playlists over on the YarnNYarns main page here on YouTube that you should be able to click on, and there's some intro videos that will explain a little bit more about that make-along that I host every year. One of the projects that I cast on was the caribou, which is currently just hanging out in this big basket because there is a lot of this Pluto yarn in the basket, and I'm going to try and show this off. I'm actually really thrilled to have an excuse to pick this project up again because I haven't touched it since the first day of the cast on back in January, and this is how far I got. I'm trying to untangle the yarn on day one. So it's a top down sweater, and I'm working away on the colour work portion at the top. I shall be able to hopefully add a few more inches to this. Now I feel like I am constantly on repeat with this year, but it's going to be another very chaotic month here at YarnNYarns headquarters. I know that I am going to be away for at least 2.5 weeks in July for various family obligations. So although I am choosing my projects in the normal way, with the Tour de Fleece going on as well, I'm not entirely sure how much progress I'll make on each of these projects, but I always enjoy picking them, and at the moment with everything that we've got going on, I just figure any stitch row small amount that I manage to add to any of my projects is a little bit of a bonus. The Pluto is one that is not going to be hugely portable because of the amount of yarn and things that I'd have to cut around for that, but yeah, I'm hopeful that on the weeks that I am here I'll be able to make a little bit of progress on that one. So thank you so much to Pip for picking that project for me. If you would like to go onto the wheel to have an opportunity to pick a future project for me, then please do reach out and let me know. I don't know if I said when I recorded this section yesterday that the person who picks the project for me gets carte blanche, so they can either choose from my works in progress or can choose something new, entirely new for me to cast on. So yeah, the world's your oyster. So if you'd like to go onto my little wheel to be in with a chance in the future to pick a project for me, then please do let me know. And also, if you are on the wheel but you no longer wish to be so for any reason, then let me know as well, and I will happily take you off to give the people that want to pick a project for me the opportunity to do so. First project on the list is done. Time to roll the dice and see what prompts we get for the rest of the projects for July. The dice have spoken, and we've got some really fortuitous prompts here, and I promise, hand on heart, that I just roll the dice and let the prompts fall as they may, but they have been very, very kind to me this month, because it is Tour de Fleece, which is the sort of yearly spinning event that runs alongside the Tour de France. I've popped up a video about my sort of spinning plans for July, but because of that event, I had in the back of my mind that it would be really fun to try and work on as many hand spun projects as I can this month. And two of the prompts that popped up really lend themselves to this. So the first one, which was number 3, and a big shout out to Simone for the beautiful cards. I will link her channel down below. But the first is number 3, and that prompt is spin. So I'm not going to go over all of the options that I have for spinning projects this month, because I've already done that in the Tour de Fleece video. But that one was very serendipitous indeed. And then the next one, also number 9, is handspun. So of course the idea for that prompt is to work on something that is primarily handspun yarn. Got quite a few different options for that at the moment. I'm just going to pull up my Ravelry projects page so that I can chat through some of my handspun options. So I have got a pair of socks that I started a couple of months ago. That could be an option. I've got my Raya sweater, which I've been working on this last month in June. I've got a handspun pillow. I've got my traveller shawl. I have my little gnome that's been on the go for at least 2 years now. I've got my handspun heptagon shawl, and I've got my Luna mitts. Is that everything? Handspun? Oh no, it isn't everything. I have my handspun Astra and my Love Note. So I've got plenty of handspun projects to choose from. Which one should I pick? I've been working on my Raya on and off this month, and I've been really enjoying it. So part of me is half tempted to continue with that project. Also might be quite nice to revisit something that hasn't been worked on for a while. What shall I do? Too many projects and not enough brain cells to choose. I think I am going to plump for... Let's go for my handspun pillow, which was another of the 12 cast on projects from this year. Let me just grab that project. This was a little bit of a random cast on, if my memory serves me correctly. I found 2 hanks of handspun singles yarn in my stash that I'd made a while ago, and I decided to put these together to make a project from this book, which is Cozy Alpaca Knits by Jem Weston. And I randomly picked out a cushion project. So it's this one in the front here, this 2-colour cushion. And so I did cast on, and I made a reasonable start on the first day using this pink variegated yarn. And again, it's a project that I haven't had a chance to pick up since I cast it on. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go for this one. As I was looking through those projects, I just kind of fancied it, and I think that this will be a good one to take on my travels with me. I'm going to stay with my gran for 10 days. I don't know if I've spoken too much about my gran on the channel before, probably back in the day, but she's in her 90s now, and she is now suffering from dementia. She lives with my uncle, her son, and my uncle has been caring for her for the last several years, and he really needs a break, so he's going away on holiday, and I'm going to go and stay with my nan to make sure that she's okay while my uncle's away. So I feel like this would be a nice project to take with me on that little trip. It should be something I can pick up and put down quite easily. There's not too much yarn to cart around, and it will be quite nice to make some progress on that one. So yeah, that's going to be my pick for the handspun prompt. Does the cushion have a name? Oh, I think it's just called, yeah, it's just called the tassel pillow in this book. So yeah, that will be my project for the handspun prompt. There are 2 prompts left. First is number 16, and that is neck. We've definitely had this one before, because I meant to change the wording on that prompt slightly, haven't got around to doing that, as you can see. But yeah, the idea is to work on a shawl, a cowl, a scarflet, like literally anything that you can wear around your neck. So I know what project I'm going to be picking for this, and this is my traveller shawl. Can't think of the name then. This one actually I had to hand because I have it ready to share in my May-June making wrap-up video. So you're getting a little sneak peek. Hopefully I'll have time to make that video before I have to go off on my travels to stay with family. I have made some good progress on this project. This is one of my projects that I started as a spin to knit in the 12 cast-ons this year, so I spun up this yarn specifically to make this project. It was a combo spin, so I picked several braids from my stash, just randomly split them down and spun them up together to make the yarn for this. And the last time I worked on this, I more or less managed to finish, in fact I have finished the first half of this shawl. It's a big triangle shawl, and it's constructed by knitting 2 triangles. So I literally have the final instruction on the first half of this, which I believe I am either casting off all of these stitches or doing something with them I-cord wise. I can't remember exactly, but I know that I stopped at this point because the next part of the pattern requires a bit more concentration than I had the ability to settle on the last time I worked on this. So yeah, it's really hard to share this with you because it's all scrunched up on the needles, but I managed to get all of this knit in a month, I think, last time. So we'll see. We'll see if this coming month leads to a finished shawl. So it's a pattern by Andrea Mowry. It's very popular. There's a traveller cowl, traveller hat, I believe. I think there might be some traveller mitts. I can't remember now. There's a whole load of traveller patterns, and I was gifted this shawl pattern. I have spun the yarn specifically, and I've been really enjoying working on this and seeing how the yarn that I spun has been knitting up. So that's the project I'm going to choose for the neck prompt. And then finally, one of my favourite prompts came up, number 13. Unlucky for some, but in this case I think pretty lucky. It's YouTube pick. So I'm going to ask for you lovely folks out there in YouTube land to pick between 2 projects that I'm going to put in front of you right now, and then a couple of weeks into the month I will choose whichever project wins the vote and work on that for a little while. I have got lots of sweater works in progress on the needles, so I think I'm going to ask you to choose between 2 different sweater projects. The first one I don't have in front of me because I've been working on it in June, but the first one I'm putting up for your consideration is the Raya sweater, and I'll pop a little picture here of my progress on the Raya so far. It's a lovely knit sideways pattern, so you cast on at the sleeve and you work across, and it has a tasselled or a fringed detail at the bottom, and I'm using a combination of my hand spun yarn and some commercial merino yarn. So would you like to see me continue to make some progress on the Raya? Or the other project I'd like to put forward for your consideration I'm sounding very proper today, aren't I? Very English. The yarn is in here, as you can see. As you can see, darlings. And I spun this probably, or at least I started this probably 2 12 cast-ons ago, maybe even 3. I've kind of forgotten now. But this yarn is put aside, it's all my hand spun, and I've put it aside to cast on a Love Note sweater. So should I start a Love Note with this yarn that has been patiently waiting for at least a year now, or should I carry on with the Raya sweater? Please do let me know in the comments below, and as I say, at the time I'm ready to work on this project, I will count up which project has the most votes and I will work on that for 2 if not 3 weeks. Okay my lovelies, I think that is it. We have reached the end of the video. Please do let me know in the comments below what you're going to be working on in July. As I've already mentioned, I'm not entirely sure how much progress I'll make on each of those projects. There's a lot of time away from home in July, and also there is the Tour de Fleece, so I want to do a fair bit of spinning. But all progress is good progress, so yeah, I'm not really worried about exactly how much I do. If I pick up each of those projects and make a tiny little bit of progress, then I will count that as a win. Please let me know in the comments below what you'll be working on in July. Are you following along with the prompts? If you are, there's a couple here that might be a little tricky to navigate if you're not a spinner. So hand spun, we've had various suggestions for what you could substitute for that prompt if you're not a spinner. Maybe work with some quote unquote luxury yarn, or yarn that you don't work with very often. Spin. I would say the easiest way to substitute this one is to pick a craft that's not your main craft. So if you're usually a knitter, maybe do a bit of crochet, maybe do a bit of cross stitch. You get the idea. And neck, that's pretty straightforward. I think everyone could pick a project for that. Finally, YouTube pick. Obviously not everyone has a YouTube channel, not everyone is daft enough to put their face in front of the camera and without shame share the craziness that is their life. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, then maybe you could just ask a family member or a friend, or use a random number generator to pick a project for you for that prompt. Whatever July has in store for you, I hope you have a great month. Don't forget to leave your vote between the Raya and the Love Note in the comments below, and I will hopefully be back here again soon with some more videos. So I do hope you will join me for the next one. Until we do get to spend time together again, I hope you get to do some of the things that you enjoy. Great big woolly hugs to you all. Bye for now. Bye.